Robot. We're going to be reading Nothing versus Everything, proving that even though Faise be selling his books, still come on here and read it. Nothing versus Everything by Faise 1. Quote, God is an infinite circle whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. End quote, by Anonymous. Dear reader, I speak plenty great life over you and your loved ones. I am always excited and grateful to take these walks with you. You may be new to this journey. You may have been here, walking alongside me, even before the first stroll was prepared and presented. Another moment has come, and there is always a sense of divine timing that is detectable when these words flow forth from me. This is one of the many things I appreciate about the position I possess. My being both able and willing to submit and surrender to divine has brought us to all of these genetic activations, reminders, and be encouraged. Much has come, more shall. Nothing is by mistake. Everything happens for a reason. This scroll is called Nothing versus Everything. Why? Is it because there's actually a versus or a war in motion involving the two? Is there actually even a difference between nothing and everything? Why is it that the versus is placed at all in between these two mysterious placeholder words? Do they not exist together in harmony? Surely, nothing and everything are not at odds with one another. I entitled this scroll Nothing versus Everything simply due to the fact that there are more people who would take an interest in a versus as opposed to a collaboration. Drama. It pulls in the masses. If I had chosen to give this scroll the title Nothing and Everything instead, we may not have optimized the type of attention that was required to have it be that. More hands were laid on the gems within these pages. Remember, the more, the merrier. In this day, the time of the risen sun, in order for the order to be reestablished, we need more people to step back into the light of the mother, Ma, sun, who is Mary, who will be ready who will be ready for the marriage of the Lamb, marriage equaling merry age. There is no coincidence that movies like Avatar, Way of the Water have emerged in these urgent currents. We are currently in the currents of the mother, the water, the mater, who is Mary, or mare, which is where you get the word maritime, Mary plus time, from. Mare literally is a word meaning sea. The people in and or of the world must return back to the ways of the water. This is what is meant by the matriarch. Never forget, it is the women, the women, and never forget, it is the women who are the omen of God, and it is they who are the closest to God, moving in frequency of water purely. Maritime law is all about the waters, the sea. We, who are the ones who have been working overtime, fighting to get the earthlings to go back into the water. Just like when it's that time to get baptized. How will you be born again? And you must. John 3:3, chapter 3, verse 3. Okay. If you don't find your way back, which is forwards to the waters that you all came from. Pause. Just like when it's time Just like when it's that time to get baptized. How will you be born again? And you must, John 3:3, if you don't find your way back, which is forwards, to the waters that you all came from. Question. Get back in alignment with water, and you will find yourself in alignment with God, who is who or who. H-U and W-H-O. The door that leads to H-U, who, is at the end of the straight and narrow path. Know that the word straight is a homophone of the word straight. Straight, S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T, and straight, S-T-R-A-I-T. And the latter, S-T-R-A-I-T, deals with water. Know that the word narrow is the homophone of the Greek word narrow, N-A-R-O, which also means water. The straight and narrow, which is quoted often, is built upon the science of returning to the water. Walk on the straight path, S-T-R-A-I-T, and you will find the door to who, H-U. Know that the word hudor, H-U-D-O-R, also means water, and take it not to be by chance. I can show you more of God in the currents of the water. Navigate with me. Do you remember, if you read it, that in my book, How to Speak Elite, I opened up the mystery box and revealed to you the secret sacred behind, which is now a front, walking on water, Navi equaling navy equaling water, gate, G-A-T-E equaling gate, G-A-I-T equaling walk. A gate is a door, you see? And when someone knocks on your door, what do you ask? Who is it? W-H-O. Yes, who is it? It is who that causes you to ascend. If you were to look at the word water and its formula of elemental composition, hydrogen to oxygen, or H2O, and if you were to let water be represented as a W, you could behold a new revelation. It would appear as follows. WH2O. Who? The two in the middle. Who two? Okay, hold on. That's an inside joke. Anyway, again, no coincidence. Life as we know it only exists because of the existence of water. Surrender yourself to the flow of divine. You are no longer in the time of man. Time has sped up. Water vibrates at a higher pace than land. Move like water and flow. Become formless and shapeless, as spoken by the late and great Bruce Lee. From the waters came all things we know, and back into the waters all things must go. I make it my business to remind people heedlessly of the importance and the essentiality of this realm being brought back, which is fourth, into the prime order, meaning the primordial state of existence. In the realm of esoteric knowledge, the notion of primordial waters holds a profound significance, a symbol of the eternal and boundless potential from which all life emerges. Who, W-H-O, knows the truth of the mystery that is the enigmatic nature of water? That wasn't a question. Water has an indispensable role in the sustenance as well as the evolution of life as we comprehend it to be. The primordial waters, a sign of both chaos, cause, and creation, have long seized the imagination of human beings. Throughout history, diverse cultures have revered water as a sacred element embodying purity, renewal, and transformation. From the ancient Egyptian deity Nun to the Mesopotamian goddess known as Tiamat, The primordial waters have been personified as deities of immense power and mystery. Water, with its fluidity and adaptability, serves to mirror the ebb and flow of existence itself. It is a universal solvent capable of dissolving and carrying within it the building blocks of life. Water comes equipped with unique properties such as its high surface tension, thermal conductivity, and solvent capabilities, deeming it an unparalleled medium for biochemical processes that allow for life to emerge and thrive. Take a water break. Ponder about the power of this canvas, a canvas upon which both nothing and everything are painted. In the science of alchemy, water symbolizes the subconscious mind, emotions, and intuition, the depths of the psyche where both transformation and spiritual growth occur. Just as the alchemists sought to transmute base metals into gold, water catalyzes the metamorphosis of primordial elements into the intricate web of life forms that populate our world. Change is ongoing. Without change or transformation, what would be able to be, as being itself requires motion in some manner or another, and with motion comes change. This is the dance of creation. Life as we know it within the earth realm is intimately entwined with water. This is a truth that rings from the single-celled organisms that appeared in the ancient seas onto the intricate ecosystems that flourish in rivers, lakes, and oceans. Water sustains life through its role in nutrient transport, temperature regulation, and habitat provision, forming the lifeblood of our planet and fostering biodiversity. God plus water are one. Water streams in a perpetual cycle of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and runoff, a cosmic dance that replenishes and purifies the earth. This cycle symbolizes the eternal process of creation, destruction, and rebirth, reflecting the cyclical nature of existence and the interconnectedness of all living beings. It has been said, "Honor thy father and thy mother." Know and respect the science of the lands and the seas. By honoring the sacred essence of water, we in turn deepen and strengthen our connection to the natural world. We would all do well to keep the way of the water sacred and to acknowledge our interdependence, not independence, with all living beings in this grand symphony of existence. Brace yourselves for the rain, REIGN, of the rain, RAIN. Rain of the rain. We all came from water, just as all numbers come from zero. Let's build on water and the number zero. At first glance, the two are seemingly disparate concepts, yet both hold a fundamental role in the creation and sustenance of life and mathematics, supreme mathematics, which is Islam, the original way of life, even before it became a religion. Water, the elixir of existence, pumps through the veins of our planet, nurturing life in all of its forms. It is water, often overlooked as a mere placeholder, is actually a seed from which all numbers were birthed. In the realm of mathematics, supreme mathematics, zero serves as the origin point, the cipher, the baseline from which positive and negative numbers spring forth. Zero is the null point, the void, if you will, that gives rise to the infinite possibilities of numerical expression. Without zero, the web of mathematics, supreme mathematics, would unravel, much like how life would falter without water. Ponder about the zero, the pause you take before counting. Zero and the beginning are one, as are zero and the end. Water reflects the creative potential inherent in zero. Both water and zero symbolize the fertile void from which life and numbers flow, embodying the infinite possibilities of existence. In the cosmic dance of creation, water and zero intertwine, shaping the relationship between water and zero. Oop, did it cut out? We come to recognize the intrinsic unity of life and mathematics, supreme mathematics. Doesn't it seem as though the phrase should be water zero as opposed to ground zero? When you think in terms of nothing versus everything, or nothing and everything, or from absence to presence, you can understand that those two polar opposites being one. You can understand about two polar opposites being one. Emphasis. Let's factor in that zero and then the conceptual infinity. Nothing equals zero. Everything came from nothingness. Everything equals infinity. Nothing exists within everything. The minds viewed these two, zero and infinity, to be equal. They had a unique understanding that it came to the concepts of the two. They had a unique understanding when it came to the concepts of the two. In Mayan culture, numbers held significant symbolic and ritual meanings. Oh, spirit, honey, let's pause. In Mayan culture, numbers held significant symbolic and spiritual meanings. Their understanding regarding the duo, that is, zero and infinity, was connected to their cosmology as well as how they viewed the realm around them. These ancestors were of the first civilizations to produce a symbol that represented the value of zero. This precept, the Khan is over, was indeed revolutionary in the history of mathematics, supreme mathematics, that had far-reaching implications for the phenomenal astronomical calculations and calendar systems. The use of the number zero allowed for the Mayans to work many complex mathematical operations. They were also able to predict astronomical happenings like eclipses and planetary alignments. I was going to say ellipses, that too. The zero in Mayan mathematics appeared as a shell-shaped glyph. That symbol represented the precept of nothingness and the void from whence all of creation derived. To them, zero also stood for the cyclical nature of creation and destruction in the universe. The Mayans viewed infinity not as a linear precept, but as a continuous spiral of creation and transformation. This notion was reflected in their religious beliefs, where deities and celestial bodies played a role in the maintenance of the balance of the universe through cycles in motion. The Mayans also associated infinity with the precept of the world tree. The world tree stands to be a central symbol in their cosmology, representing the axis mundi that connected the celestial, terrestrial, and underworld realms. The world tree was believed to be the world tree was believed to be infinite in its reach, acting as a bridge that links together the different levels of existence, as well as serving as a conduit or a medium for communication between the human and divine realms. That divine realm, like all divine realms, has been hidden or covered. This is why only the strong will survive. I do not know consciously why that line about only the strong surviving was written. Truthfully, I was in theta state when I wrote that line, and I was dozing off. As you might imagine, many late nights and early risings go into the relaying of these scrolls. I have no doubt in my mind that these scrolls are divine. And so I let what flows flow. And I will keep that line in here, right where it was divinely placed. Only the strong will survive. What does that mean to or for you? And then there is a diagram. 0 on the integer plane intertwining with infinity. Infinity as a shape that can be drawn on the integer plane. Pause. Infinity as a shape Oh my god. Okay. Infinity as a shape that can be drawn on the integer plane weaves in and out of every number from 1 to 9, or from -1 to -9. The purest and truest infinity that can be drawn onto the integer plane is the infinity symbol that connects from 9 to 9. As you can observe in my illustration above, remember, 9 is the highest number there is, known to man, and all numbers after 9 are not actually new numbers, but repetitions of the base 10 counting method. The base 10 method, also referred to as the decimal system, Latin decimus meaning tenth, is a numbering system that uses 10 digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to represent all numbers. It might have done well to have been called the base 9 method, as the counting actually begins at 1, just as every journey begins with one step. Yet that is a talk for another walk. You might see more of why it's referred to as base 10. However, if you dive deeper into the mathematics of it, each position in a number represents a power of 10. For example, the number 345 in base 10 can be broken down as follows. 3 multiplied? Okay, just making sure. 3 multiplied by 10 to the power of 2 plus 4 times 10 to the power of 1 plus 5 times 10 to the power of 0 equals 3 times 100 plus 4 times 10 plus 5 times 1 equals 300 plus 40 plus 5 equals 345. In the base 10 system, the rightmost digit represents the ones place. The next digit to the left represents the tens place. The next represents the hundred place, and so on, with each position representing a successful power of 10. Successive power of 10. This system is widely used in everyday life for both counting and arithmetic operations. You may remember learning this science in public school if you attended, in a much more simplified manner. When you look at the image above, I want you to bring this thought into mind. All numbers from the eye-opening 1 to the blinding 9, whereby the first eyes are lost and the new eyes are bestowed on the beholder of the truest light there is, are the natural numbers that cover all of the grounds and bounds of the observable universe we currently exist in. The positive realm of existence. I don't use the word positive to say good and not evil. I say positive as in the side of the plane to the right of 0, whose counterpart is the negative side of the plane. These two sides of the complete integer plane are each their own individual side. They are, the two of them, each their own dimension within the realm that is the complete integer plane. To stand in the center of the two is to be centered, connected, and balanced, being able to accept the wisdom that is. There is a world that operates within our process, the con is over, knowing. and there is a world that operates without our precious knowing. What we are, or what we know to be, is only what it is because we know it to be. There is a realm that moves in reverse, just as there is a negative plane to the positive plane that the many take to be all there is to reality. The universe we exist in is only perceivably composed of mostly black, dark, or negative matter. This is because of the fact that most human beings are only able to understand about one side of the spectrum, literally. See, when you take in information of any dimension within any realm, that dimension ends up appearing smaller to you. Did not your home appear much larger when you first moved in? It was after you spent time in that home, covering grounds and bounds, learning where the restroom, den, and kitchen were, adding furniture, amenities, and gadgets, etc., that the home began to shrink. This occurs in the field of wisdom and intellect. When you take in more information without the graceful awareness that all things are always changing and that all truths are not full truths, your dimension shrinks. This is why I echo the reality that is, never stop learning, always be a student. Be aware about the world that moves without your knowing. Embrace and accept it for what it is and for all it isn't. Appreciate it. Are you in tune with the light of the mirror dimension? Imagine a mirror that is not just reflecting what is on the front of it, but also showing the whole world. Some scientists have Imagine a mirror that is not just reflecting what is Imagine a mirror that is not just reflecting what is in front of it, but also showing the whole world. Oh. Imagine a mirror that is not just reflecting what is in front of it, but also showing a whole other world. Some scientists have presented findings that all suggest that there could possibly be parallel dimensions where everything is the same as in our world, but slightly different. These dimensions are likened unto mirror images of the world we live in. They could be right next to us, separated only by a thin veil, if you will. The mystery of mirror dimensions, one dimension. Okay. The mystery of mirror dimensions raises many questions. Might there be other versions of ourselves dwelling within these so-called mirror dimensions? If so, do these replicas have the same friends, families, and homes as we do? If we were capable of somehow traveling to these mirror dimensions, what types of adventures and discoveries might await us there? Scientists are still working to unlock more information about the mysteries of mirror dimensions. Some think that these dimensions could help us understand? Some think that these Okay, what do you mean when you do that?
Keep going.
Okay. Scientists are still working to unlock more information about the mysteries of mirror dimensions. Some think that these dimensions can help us understand the mysteries of the universe better. Others believe that they hold the key to time travel or even the existence of alternate realities. When is the last time you looked at an actual mirror? Here's something you can do. Mirror, go up to it and place your right hand on it. Envision yourself trading places with yourself, the self that is on the other side of the mirror. Observe how, if you were able to trade places with the mirror self, you would actually have your left hand up to the mirror, not your right hand. Don't be spooked out. Again, don't be spooked out. For a third time. Don't be spooked out. This is just one of the ways that I can have it be that you are shown the mirror dimension reality in real time. Why does this occur? In your reality, you have your right hand on the mirror. This is true, except it isn't true fully, as there is a version of you that is doing the exact opposite of what you are doing in the reality you precociously exist in. The next time you look in a mirror, remember that there could be much more to it than just your reflection staring back at you. Nonetheless, the mystery of mirror dimensions invites us to imagine about these endless possibilities that tell the whole truth just beyond our reach. Many of the sacred sciences that would aid people in getting in tune with levels or degrees that have been hidden within the words and numbers of the languages human beings use to express thought. Many of the sciences that would aid people in getting in tune with the beyond levels or degrees have been hidden within the words and numbers of the languages human beings use to express thought. Among these sacred sciences is that of the multiplication science, which is really the science of adding on to the self, using the science, meaning what is known about the self and the unknown self, multiplying that self times yourself as many times as necessary to be able to reach a newer level of science, having obtained a newer, higher value. These types of sacred sciences are kept concealed within sciences, like that of the science of logarithms. Logarithms equal mean. How many times must a base number be multiplied by itself to amount to another number? The logarithm is basically the exponent or power to which a base must be raised to yield a given number. Let's dissect the term and extract the gem. Logos plus rhythm, logos meaning or equal to ratio or word, arithmos equal to or meaning ratio number. Logos word, arithmos number. And then there's a formula. The formula for logarithm. The decoded science of the logarithm as it pertains to hidden sciences that, when revealed, are applicable on a real-life scenario basis is a science assists one in determining how much or what type of power would be required to reach a certain level or degree. What is power? Many may be familiar with the famous saying, knowledge is power. Surely, it is the application of knowledge that proves power. This is what is being relayed by the saying, knowing is half the battle. One must take the potential, that is knowledge, in its state of being possessed and activate it, or make active that knowledge. I will tell you a short story of a young woman who came across the science of the logarithm. Her life changed from that moment forward. This is the never before told story of Faise. Find the rhythm, find the purpose. Deep in the drumming heart of an ancient mystical forest shrouded in whispers of divine secrets, sacreds, there resided a radiant young woman named Faise, 25 in years. She alone was a mighty force to be reckoned with, born from two great parents, ones who carried within their souls the pure essences of angels. If there ever existed any human beings who might have been able to embody such essences, Faise was known far and wide for her golden eyes, her explosive and commanding midnight afro, her seemingly eruptive laugh, and her curious spirit and her insatiable thirst for adventures yield. There came a sunrise, one where she arose from her rest as though there were an invisible etheric cord attached to her chest, and she floated forth from her bed. The pressing wind outside her window dashed around like an anxious puppy, half waiting, half encouraging Bossuet to come with. Obliged, Bossuet took to the outdoors, sprinting and leaping gracefully and effortlessly, competing with the butterflies and the bees, creating her own lingering drafts as she segued upon a forest. Full of energy, she worked her way into the family of trees, the wind about her applauding its approval. As she wandered through the forest, her keen eyes caught sight of a small, unassuming log resting amidst a bed of exceptionally glowful wildflowers. Intrigued by the peculiar presence of the log, Bossuet picked it up and felt a strange sort of energetic charge coursing through her veins. She had no knowledge of the fact that this apparently humble log held within it a power beyond her wildest imagination, namely, the power that would deem her capable of advancing in all areas of her life. From that instant on, her life took a whimsical turn. After having retrieved this unlikely implement, her mind thenceforth became much sharper, her body grew stronger, and her spirit more vibrant. She found herself excelling in works and tasks that at previous points in her life would have seemed insurmountable. She began to navigate stubborn challenges with ease. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Bossuet's newfound abilities led her up and down paths she surely would have never even given mind to treading before. She delved into the depths of right knowledge, scaled and unveiled the roots and peaks of creativity, and danced through the rhythms of life with a newfound sense of purpose. One fateful day, under the dappled light of the forest canopy, Bossuet realized that what she had truly found was not just some log, but her rhythm, her purpose in this world. With each step she took, she felt the pulse of the earth beneath her feet, guiding her along the long walk, short path, straight ahead, towards her destiny. Bossuet's story became a legend, whispered among the trees, about a young woman who stumbled upon a small log in the forest and found within it the key to unlocking her true potential. From that day forward, she maneuvered through life with a light heart and knowing smile, for she had found her place in the grand symphony of existence. You can hear the story if you listen close enough to the trees as the wind breezes through them, exciting them all over again, as their ancestors were indeed witnesses, and it is truly among their favorite stories to hear. And so, there were Mayans, bringing it right on back around to zero and infinity, who taught that the number zero corresponded to the number infinity. And so there were the Mayans, bringing it right back around to zero and infinity, who taught that the number zero corresponded to the number infinity, and based on the mathematical science of logarithms, zero equals negative infinity, and infinity equals positive infinity. Negative infinity plus positive infinity equals 1 infinity. I will now walk you through the super mystery of the science of potential as actual infinity. Potential infinity versus actual infinity. As you may have noticed, this scroll is very advanced, maybe even significantly more advanced than my other scrolls. How would we have been able to even step towards the idea of nothing versus everything without advancing? Hold on to the rope. You may or may not understand everything in one rap. I suggest that, either way, you utilize the affirmation, I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. It will all come around to making sense. Potential infinity versus actual infinity. The notion of a quantity that is infinite, perceptually speaking, is known as actual infinity. Technically, there is no actual infinity that can be realized about or observed in any way by any human being. This is because numbers never actually stop. They keep going and going on and on. If a person was to begin counting from any age, from a starting point of their if a person was to begin counting from any age, from a starting point of their counting on to the end of their lifespan, whichever number or quantity they would have observed last, meaning at the moment of their being incapable of observing this plane of existence any further, that number or quality would not be the actual infinity for all human beings, but rather the relative infinity for that particular human being as that particular human being. No human being has the ability to count all of the natural numbers. This isn't even to say that human beings don't live long enough to do so. This is to say that the lifespan necessary to complete that task is not calculable by human beings, let alone observable, let alone overstandable. Because the calculation of infinity also called actual infinity is theoretically impossible, the reality that is the calculation of actual infinity is the reality that is potential infinity. You see? Yeah. Per the observation of human mathematics, actual infinity is actually incalculable. In that sense, actual infinity cannot even be fathomed by human beings. And so, truthfully speaking, because infinity is not a precept that humans are able to grasp fully, infinity is really the limitation of calculation that is relative to the observer. This would mean that infinity itself being calculable is based halfway on the ability of the observer, and because there is no human observer that is capable of calculating actual infinity, the only fathomable infinity of the two being potential infinity and actual infinity, is potential infinity, which could be summed up to half infinity.
Don't play with that boy.
When writing out the infinity symbol, one may notice that there are two circles or zeros that come together. One may also notice that it is very similar to the Mobius strip. In the mysterious realm of mathematical forms, there exists a shape that transcends the boundaries of convention and perception known as the Mobius strip. This structure, with its single surface and peculiar sort of twist or coil, ushers the observer to explore more about the sacreds of infinity and the interconnected nature of existence. Within the paradoxical confines of the Mobius strip, one comes across a bit of a metaphor for the infinite and eternal here and there of creation and destruction. At first glance, the Mobius strip appears as a single loop of paper. However, a closer examination reveals its true nature, a shape that defies traditional notions of inside and outside, of beginning and end. By introducing a single half twist before joining the ends, the Mobius strip transforms into a symbol of both unity, oneness, and continuity, where opposites merge and contradictions dissolve. Much like the procept of infinity, the Mobius strip eludes our attempts to confine. I'm not gonna do that. Confine it within finite boundaries. As we traverse its surface, we are confronted with a seamless transition from one side to the other, blurring the distinction between what is real and what is illusion. It's as if God stares us in the eye when we behold this symbol, asking us who we are, and we must answer with our most befuddled stutter that we know not, neither do we know who or what God is. In this perpetual cycle of transformation, the Mobius strip invites us to contemplate the infinite possibilities that flow beyond our limited perceptions. The Mobius strip embodies the concept of infinity in its very essence, as it possesses a single continuous surface that extends infinitely without ever reaching a definitive endpoint. Behold the image above, which is the Mobius strip. Where does it begin? Where does it end? Can you truly determine either? Just as the strip loops back on itself in this never-ending cycle, so too does the infinite nature of the universe. The two zeros of infinity, the left and right sides of its axis, can be seen as one. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Zero is actually said to be finite, not infinite. And so, even though half of infinity would still be infinity, technically speaking, half infinity could amount to 0 plus 0, as in negative 0 and positive 0, or left 0 and right 0. 0 signifies both nothing and everything. And you have our true zero symbol in the book. That gem could help one to understand about zeros being connected with infinity as humans, as that which we know humans to be can only grasp half of nothing and half of everything. And every truth is only a half truth, as a something is not only up positionally, it is in fact also not down. meaning it could potentially be down, and so it is in fact down potentially. Potentially. It's starting not to feel like a real word. If a something could potentially be anything at all, then it actually is that, as potential is only a reality that has yet to be realized. But if it didn't exist, it would not be able to be realized, let alone fathomed, at least not by human beings. Potential equals half reality. Reality equals half potential. Everything that is realized and accepted as reality has the potential to not be realized, everything that is realized and accepted as reality has the potential to not be realized or accepted as reality. Reality is truth, but only halfly, and so something being finite is only halfly finite, per the observation of human beings, and something infinite, infinite, is only halfly infinite. Any beginning is also halfway absolute, just as anything that is an ending is only halfway absolute. What is the science that many feel they are aware of? What is the science called absolute? Does it even exist fathomably? What mankind accepts perceptually to be absolute is actually an elusive an elusive science similar to that of the science of infinity. To consider the realm of the absolute is to consider the deepest mysteries regarding existence itself. To say to someone, absolutely, is to provide that someone with a soothing affirmation. Is to provide that someone with a soothing affirmation in any language that allows them to be at ease mentally. To speak the tones of the absolute is to utter affirmation. Let us take a look at the word affirmation and assess it phonetically speaking. To speak the word affirmation is to also speak the tones outformation. The jewel of outformation was introduced to the world by the Most Honorable Dr. Malachi Z. York L. Outformation is a higher science, also known as, aka, an advanced degree built atop the foundation of right knowledge. In the advanced lessons of supreme mathematics brought to the world by a great man named Clarence Edward Smith, his transformative appellation being Clarence 13X, those who took that walk were taught the following. 1. Knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of all things. It represents the understanding and awareness of facts, information, and principles. Knowledge is the first step to gaining wisdom and understanding. 2. Wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. It is the ability to discern and make sound judgments based on knowledge and experience. Wisdom allows one to use knowledge effectively to make decisions and navigate life. 3. Understanding. Understanding is the comprehension and insight gained from knowledge and wisdom. It involves the ability to see the deeper meanings behind things and to grasp concepts on a profound level. 4. Culture or freedom. Culture represents one's way of life, values, beliefs, and customs. It includes the traditions and practices that shape a person or community. Freedom is the ability to act, speak, or think without hindrance or restraint. 5. Power or refinement. Power is the ability to influence or control outcomes. It can be used positively to empower oneself and others, or negatively to dominate or oppress. Refinement is the process of improving and perfecting one's self through education, self-discipline, and growth. 6. Equality. Equality is the state of being. Equality is the state of being equal in rights, opportunities, and status. It emphasizes fairness and justice for all individuals regardless of differences. It promotes unity and harmony among people. 7. God. That's like in the concept of the supreme mathematics, God represents the divinity and supreme potential that within each individual. It symbolizes the creative and transformative power that resides within all human beings. 8. Build, destroy. To build is to create, construct, and uplift. It involves adding value, knowledge, and positive contributions to oneself and others. To destroy is to break down, eliminate, or overcome obstacles and negative influence that hinder progress and growth. 9. Born. Born symbolizes the beginning or creation of something new. It represents the potential for growth, development, and change. It signifies the continuous cycle of birth, life, and rebirth. 0. Cipher. Cipher represents a circle or cycle that has no beginning or end. It symbolizes the interconnectedness of all things and the infinite potential for growth and evolution. It signifies unity, completeness, and the balance of all elements. Similarly, the Most Honorable Dr. Malachi Z. York L. brought the science all of these and necessary alterations to the lessons. Among these alterations were the adjustments of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The word right was added to knowledge and wisdom, as well as the word understanding, except that word was a spell that needed to be both broken and reversed, and so it became right overstanding. We, those who were and are and willing, we, those who were and are and will be willing to walk that pathway, would no longer understand or stand under anyone. We would function as gods, guides, guards, and we would stand over or rise up. Many think, however, that right knowledge is some made-up idea that only pertains to followers of Dr. York. That is not the case, by far. The path of righteousness has always been a path rooted in right knowledge. Take note that right knowledge is the basis of all aspects of the aligning supreme mathematics. As the traveler of that path must come to know and make active that knowledge, acknowledge that which is right before taking that walk. Right knowledge has been the goal from the start of all of this. The Holy Quran. Right knowledge is associated with both Christianity and Islam, appearing situationally in books like, I almost said Bible, the Bible and Quran. In the protext of the Quran, the gem, an application of true, pure, and authentic knowledge as revealed in the Quran, which is the holy scripture of Islam, believed by Muslims to be the word of God as revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right knowledge in the Quran encompasses various aspects, including 1. Knowledge of God. The Quran emphasizes the importance of knowing and understanding the nature of God, his attributes, his oneness, tawheed, and his role as the creator and sustainer of the universe. 2. Knowledge of the Quran. Muslims are encouraged to seek knowledge of the Quran, to understand its teachings and signs, and to implement its guidance in their lives. The Quran is considered a source of divine knowledge and wisdom that provides guidance for all aspects of life. 3. Knowledge of the prophets. The Quran contains stories of the prophets and messengers sent by God to guide humanity. Understanding the lives and teachings of the prophets is considered a form of right knowledge that helps Muslims learn valuable lessons and moral guidance. We got 2 minutes left. 4. Knowledge of the hereafter. The Quran teaches about the precept of the hereafter, including the day of judgment, heaven, paradise, and hell. Right knowledge is the protext. Right knowledge in this protext involves understanding the consequences of one's actions in this world and preparing for the afterlife. 5. Knowledge of Islamic law, Sharia. Right knowledge in the Quran also includes understanding Islamic teachings on ethics, morality, and legal principles. Muslims are encouraged to seek knowledge of Sharia and to lead a righteous and just life according to Islamic principles. Okay, we're going to stop there for now. We're going to come right back because the live is about to end and I need a break.